Hey, this is Jason Morris. Here, and it's another Friday. I'm here with Matthew Rodriguez, and as most of you guys know, Matthew's a brand new agent. And Matthew, we're in week 4 or 5 now?
It's either 4 or 5, man. It's going by way too quick.
I know. I messaged you last night, and I was like, oh shit, Friday's tomorrow.
Dude, we just had a call. It seems like.
I feel like that too, man. This has been such an odd week in South Carolina. I was telling you, we had the hurricane, then we had the week without electricity. Now we're having a week of flooding, basically. So hopefully that's all going down now, and we can really get back to work.
Get back to normal pretty soon here.
Exactly, man. It's hard to overcome an objection when somebody tells you, well, you can't get to my house because there's 2 feet of water in the road. So, I'm always one for being optimistic on overcoming objections, but I actually had a house that I just listed that the road to it, the water was probably waist high. And I've got calls like crazy wanting to see it this week. And you can't see it unless you're willing to swim or you've got like a little boat in the back seat of your car. Yeah. That's it, man. This is the only time as a realtor that I think owning a kayak would be really beneficial.
Oh yeah.
But man, so how did your week go? Tell us about your calls and what happened.
Yeah, I did my calls like I normally do. A couple of days I only did about an hour of calls, which is kind of less than what I want. But I set 3 appointments. I've been very busy in the evenings this week. My wife is with her work schedule, and she's got she coaches volleyball, so she's got a lot of things going on. So I haven't really been able to schedule appointments during the evening. So I'm kind of pushing them off toward the weekend. I went on one Wednesday, and that was an interesting one. It was actually a Craigslist posting that I found here in town. It was an odd property. It's built, but the entire residence is actually above a garage and a workshop. He said it was newly remodeled. That's a stretch, but but I went to that one. Selling for sale by owner. So we talked a lot. And I'm going to try to list that one. He actually texted me this morning saying that he might have an offer on the property, but I'm trying to get him to list with me because I think I can actually get him a lot more. He's really underpriced.
Yeah, man, I'll tell you what I do because I run that a lot. I work with a lot of for sale by owners, and one of the things I do with these people is they say, "Oh, we got a guy I think's going to make an offer." That's great. Honestly, man, there's a lot of people that talk sometimes with these people, but then they jerk them around and they wait around and the offer never comes and
tire kickers. And
the seller, he just kind of sits there holding his breath waiting and putting off everybody else, hoping this one guy comes through. I mean, I see that so much here with us being a second home market. We'll have people that they're in Tennessee or Virginia or New York or something, and I have sellers go, "Hey, well, I got a guy from New York, and he's wanting to come out. He's coming down in 3 weeks, and he told me he's going to buy it." And chances are, if that guy comes down, he's not going to come straight to their doorstep with a bag of money. Right. So a great way to overcome that is just tell the people, "Hey, look, guys, I know you got this person that is telling you they want to buy it. They hadn't give you a contract. You've waited several days, you've waited whatever. Why don't we do the listing agreement, and why don't we exclude this person? That way we can get started. We won't waste any time. We'll get started marketing your property. Honestly, I see this a lot. The chances of that person coming through and offering you what they're offering, is very slim. Why don't we exclude them from the listing agreement? And if they come up, buy the property, they don't have an agent, we can just cancel the agreement, and that's it. You don't owe me anything." And the odds in 12 years, man, I've only had one person that actually popped up and where the buyer actually bought the house.
Right.
So rarely do you have that happen. And then you want to ask them questions about the buyer too. Well, are they going to pay cash or are they financing? And chances are the seller hasn't even asked. They've done no pre-qualification with this person, you know, or asked any simple questions like, hey, are they paying cash? Are they financing it? Are they, if they're financing it, have they been pre-qualified? You know, have they seen the house? Have they, you know, do you know what they, you know, have they done a home inspection? Have they presented you anything in writing? Have they at least presented you anything in an email? You know, what's their time frame to buy and close? You know, they've never asked any of those questions. They're just they're just relying on a hope and a prayer. And, you know, it's like I used to work with this lady, and she used to say a lot of agents would poke and pray. They'd basically poke a sign in the ground in front of the house and pray that it sells.
Yeah.
And these people are doing the same thing lots of times. So it's pretty easy to overcome that objection when you start asking them some questions about the buyer and then offer to exclude that buyer from the contract. If the buyer's already given them something in writing, of course you don't want to interfere with that, but they've already given them something in writing, they're planning to accept it. You know, man, another great strategy. I've done this several times where I've had sellers, and I'm talking to them, and they go, oh, we found a buyer for the house. Well, that's fantastic. Do you need me to do anything for you? Because lots of times, you know, keep in mind, most of the people we're talking to, man, chances are if they've ever bought and sold a house, they've probably only done it once or twice. And it's been several years ago, things have changed, or it's been in another state, you know. So the average person has never bought or sold a house. If they bought a house, they've never sold one. Or if they have sold one, they've probably done it less than 2 or 3 times. Even your most experienced people haven't done it any more than 4 or 5 times. So a lot of these people, they don't know that, hey, you got to use an attorney in the state of South Carolina. You have to have a title search done. You know, everybody hopes that, you know, hey, when you tell me, hey, I own the house free and clear and there's no liens, I hope you're telling me the truth. But, you know, but we need to make sure, and we need to pay a little extra money for title insurance just in case. I don't want to be responsible for your credit card bill in 3 years when we find out it was attached to the house. So, man, and when I've asked that question before, what do you need me to do, or what would you like me to help you with? I've got paid a bunch of times for just meeting the seller and meeting the buyer at the same time and just writing the contract for them. And, of course, you're not going to get paid a full commission for that, but I mean, we're talking about it taking a couple hours of your time, and you're doing just contract to closing, getting into the attorney, getting to the lender, and all that stuff.
Yeah, do like a flat fee for transaction coordination.
Yeah, just do a flat fee, and typically, me personally, I would for 1 or 2%, but you know, charge whatever you feel like the time's going to be worth. You know what I mean? Or whatever.
Absolutely.
You know, your time's worth. And
yeah, we'll definitely have that conversation when we jump off this call because he actually just texted me that. So,
man, I probably get one of those. I get one of those every 2 or 3 months, 4 months, where I have somebody just go, "Hey, Jason, I need help writing a contract, or we don't know what to do next," and they will pay you for your real estate services and experience.
Oh yeah, I mean it's not a simple process. A lot of these people that have sold before, it may have been 20 years ago.
Yeah, that's right.
And the real estate law is, you know, constantly changing. So.
Oh yeah, man. I mean, there's so much stuff. Just in my 12 years in the business, there's so much stuff that we have to do today that we didn't have to do in 2007 or 2008.
Yeah.
And you know, back in 1950, you know, title searches and stuff wasn't as important. You know what I mean? But now everybody is so transient. You know, and everybody, you know, a lot of people pick up, they only move to an area because of family or jobs typically, you know?
Yeah.
And when the job leaves, they leave. So so it creates lots of problems. You know, I might be good, but we don't know about you, you know what I mean? So and that's the way you have to look at it. You know, title insurance is too cheap not to get it.
Yeah.
So and I've had sellers and buyers just think that, hey, the buyer could bring them a sack of cash and they could just do a quit claim deed and that's it. And that's just not the way it is. But man, so you got 2 appointments set up, and you still got today to call, and you still got tomorrow to call.
That's right. And Sunday if I'm feeling really, really
Feeling
good
really
about
good.
it.
Well, so how many hours total did you prospect this week?
I'm going to guess probably an average about an hour and a half a day. Some days more, some days less. But, so
You've done roughly
we'll say maybe
6 hours?
Yeah, maybe 6, 7 hours.
6, 7 hours. Let's say 6 hours. So you got 3 appointments. So you're prospecting about 2 hours to get 1 appointment, roughly.
Yeah.
So how many appointments do you need to go on? How many more appointments do you need to set this week, you think?
I need to set at least 2 more between today and tomorrow.
I mean, because you're a little bit behind, man.
I am.
The goal is 12, and you're a little bit behind. We got to catch up.
I'm in this rut, man. You gotta kick my ass.
Yeah, you were texting me about going fishing, man. You need to get to work. You need to go listing.
Right.
But yeah, man. So what's your plan here today and tomorrow?
Well, I'm definitely gonna jump on the phones here. Probably going to prospect for another hour and a half or so, maybe 2 hours, and then I have some things I need to follow up with. I did sign on a buyer this week. I'm trying to get this other listing sold, and following up with some previous buyer clients that I have. I'm just having a hard time finding properties for them. They're looking for USDA, and they have a lot of criteria that they're looking for. But unfortunately, right now, in the area that I'm in, the criteria that they're looking for is, there might be 8 or 10 properties currently available. So,
wow, yeah, you have to really stress urgency, and when they see a house pop up on the market, they got to jump on it. I mean, we're having that too. I mean, we're not like in some areas, but if it's a house that's move-in ready and it's priced close to the price range, I mean, it's going to sell.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
I got a contract yesterday on a house. The people is actually one that there's 2 feet of water in the road and you can't get to it. And the people done the offer contingent on viewing the house. And
it's probably the first time you've seen that.
Oh, I mean, I've seen that a lot here. Contingent on viewing. We get offers like that kind of often, especially
really
so many people being out of town. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
We get sight unseen offers all the time. I mean, it's especially on oceanfront in the middle of the summer. When you do an oceanfront, lots of times in the middle of the summer, everything's rented. And the only time you can really see it is in the middle of check-in, check-out on Saturday, which is basically 11 to 3.
Mm-hmm.
So, if a deal comes on the market and you're interested or you got a client that's interested, man, you can't get in there. They won't. Most of the management companies for vacation rentals will not allow you to disturb the tenants. So it's kind of a frustrating thing sometimes when you got a seller that really needs to sell and they're calling you, pressuring you, and then you can't. You're getting calls, but they can't actually get in and show the place. So
yeah, there's not much you can do with that. I mean,
yeah, it creates some frustration, but they can do an offer contingent on viewing, and if they get in there and it's not like the pictures or not like what they thought it was, this is where pictures for listings are more important than ever.
Right.
You gotta even if you're taking them with your cell phone, you gotta take good pictures. Use a flash and make sure the colors are balanced. And,
put your finger in front of the lens.
Impression. Yeah, put your finger in front of the lens and hope they come out all right. But we get offers like that often, but we don't typically get them on single-family residences like this. But the storm has caused. Basically, it's just caused this. There's just some roads you still can't get down. So, anyways, we got the offer. We negotiated the offer and done everything. The buyers hadn't even looked at the house yet.
Wow.
So it makes for some interesting situations though sometimes, but they should be happy with this one. This is a newer home. It looks in fantastic shape. But man, I want you to give your contact information. I think I've told people, Facebook is one of the I get so many referrals from Facebook. It's crazy. So I want to make sure you give your contact information, man. How can people get in touch with you if they want to refer somebody to you in Greenville?
Yeah, just give me a call or give me a text. 864-354-9100. So I always have my phone on me. I'm always available.
Cool, man. Well, hey, good luck with your calls today and tomorrow, and hopefully, man, you got to pick up like 3 listings. You got to pick up like 3
Today.
extra listings to stay on track of your goal.
Let's do it.
All right, man. You have a good day. Thanks, man.
All right, man. Bye.